What's happening, Everlasting Now? Good to see you. Good to see everybody checking in. I'm glad that you're here. Fox Batone, good to see you. Welcome back, Simply Jess. Good to see you. Welcome back to another conversation from the couch. Um, Today is going to be a mix of things. So we've been in our 40 days of fulfillment, and for some of us, it's been 40 days of also fasting and fulfillment. So we're at day 7. So this is the day I want to first check in, see how you're doing with what it is that you said you wanted to accomplish in these 40 days. What level of fulfillment, what focus did you have? We're going to check in. So start putting those things in the comment. I'm good to see you. Glad that you're here. So put those things in the comment section so that we can see what's going on, how you're doing. I'm going to give you an update about mine and what has happened in the last 7 days with my body. I've received a few of my friends have told me, they're like, your face looks so much thinner and different. So that's been like a little running joke for the last couple of days. Like my head has got smaller, but anyway. So it's been a great week. And so let's jump in and start talking about the price of accomplishing our goals, right? What it takes to actually get there, and how we actually get from where we are to where we desire to be faster. And let me just tell you that it's going to come down to your choices, you making a decision. There's the punchline. You got to make a decision. Talk is over. No, just kidding. Now we're going to talk for a little bit, but that is what it is. You have to make a decision. There has to be a conscious effort. You have to make a decision. You got to go, and you're going to have to realize that you have to pay the price up front. And so when we look at life and we look at the outcomes that we desire to have, sometimes we think that we're going to get there without first paying a price. That's not how it works. I'm thinking about just a few minutes ago, I was watching a video, a gardening video, and just looking at and planning out crops and whatnot, and crops I want to grow. And there are some things that I want to grow from seed. And so just, learning how to plant, the seeds and what to do to cultivate them and bring them, to maturity. So I'm watching somebody else, and they're teaching and instructing on it. And this is a part of paying the price, right? Before I'll ever have lettuce and spinach and, whatever, cucumbers, whatever it may be, I have to pay the price. Part of the price is time being invested in learning. That's a part of the price, right? This happened to be free. It was on YouTube. So the time is something that I'm paying with, right? It's going to cost us something. In other courses, and over the weekend, I enrolled in a program, in a course, and there's something that I'm wanting to learn. I'll be sharing that with you in the days ahead, but it's pretty exciting. But I paid a price for that. I had to come out of my pocket for that, and I'm going to have to pay time for that, right? So there's going to be time that I invest. There's money that I invested. And guess what? It all happens before all the end results that I desire. So there is a price that has to be paid. And so this week, with us moving into day 7, this is our day 7 of our 40 days of fulfillment, 40 days of fasting, 40 days of removing some things from our life so that we could see other things added to our life. Day 7. So my first 7 days have been dedicated to fasting. So I've been fasting for the first 7 days, and my fast has consisted of only water. So I've been on a water fast for the last 7 days. Okay. So I haven't eaten anything, haven't chewed any gum, haven't had a mint, anything, just water for the last 7 days. And so in these last 7 days, well, prior to these last 7 days, at the beginning of the year, going into the beginning of the year, I decided I was going to be eating healthier and getting my body back in shape. I wanted to lose some pounds, lose some weight that I gained last year after my surgery. I decided I had hernia surgery last year, and it worried me. It concerned me that I could possibly, irritate it, hurt it, damage it again. So what I did, I was like, I'm going to take it super easy. And, throughout the whole year, I'm just going to kind of manage things. Right. And so I did that last year, and I gained weight. Like I'm generally around, like 175, 178. That's where I feel comfortable. But it got up to one point like 195, and I refused. I was like, I'm not I will not let this scale get over 200 pounds. Like that was just for me. I was like, no, I know that's too much for my body. I know it doesn't feel good. I could tell by the way that I was moving, didn't feel good. And I've never in my life had an issue with my weight. So for me to be up close to 20 pounds heavier than where I normally operate, that was significant for me, right? I felt that. I could tell trying to get on the horse. I could tell, with my pants and my jeans, my flexibility. I could tell, like putting on my socks. I was like, this. I feel this 20 pounds, right? And so I was like, all right, going into 2023, I'm going to be focused. I'm going to start off the year with only drinking water. I'm going to drink water. Excuse me. And so I'm going to drink water, and I was like, and then I'm going to, I'm eliminating everything else. Now, being completely honest, I did not eliminate everything else. I drank water, and then weekly, daily, I've been drinking prior to this new fast. I've been drinking like 4 ounces of pomegranate juice every day. So like 4 ounces of pomegranate juice and water. Those are my 2 beverages that I've been drinking. It is what it is. So there was that, and then I eliminated candy and unnecessary sweets. Oh, that's been a killer, because I like Reese cups, and I have like bags of Twizzlers someone sent me as a gift. Thank you, social media friends, right? Sent me some Twizzlers. Oh, they're sitting there. I can't wait to enjoy them. So there's been that. So all that being said, I started off the year on a particular note because I wanted to see results. I was like, I'll pay the price to get this scale down. And it's been going down. It was like 192, 191, all that good stuff. Going down. So at the start of this week, I was 187.4. Okay. So I started the week off 187.4. And mind you, I've water fasted before. I've actually water fasted for 22 days before. And I shared that with you before, where it was just me and water and different types of water. Water with ice, water without ice, warm water, cold water. It is what it is. It's, for me, and scientifically, it was fine. Like, it wasn't a problem, right? So all good. My body changed. I had to deal with vanity issues, but I felt great overall. So manage my energy, all that good stuff. So I started off this week at 187.4. And then at 187.4, I started this week. And I've been going through, and then daily it's been dropping down. And there, like I told you, I wanted to get to 175, and day 7, I got on the scale this morning, and that's what it said, right? 187 and 175. So the very number I've been thinking about for quite a while was the number that showed up on the scale, which leads me to a couple things. I was like, this is the number that I've been focused on, because this is the number that I knew to be like my number, 175 to 178. But I've been saying 175 all along. And, like, God's probably heard me talk about 175 so much. He was like, this dude is focused on 175. So when it showed up this morning, I thought that was great. Fantastic. But the thing is, there was a price that was paid. There was some discipline that had to go into it. There was an understanding that, you know what, I'm going to do a specific thing without deterring from it. I'm going to be focused on this, and I'm going to do this, and it's okay for me, and it's going to work out. And it did. How you sometimes you just got to set your course, make a decision that you are going to be fully focused, pay the price, do what you need to do, and not deter from it, right? Sometimes we want these outcomes, but we're not completely all in on starting or going, and we're kind of back and forth. And what takes so long is that we don't ever fully commit. We're just kind of halfway in, halfway out. We're standing in between 2 choices. Will I go? Will I stay? Is it yes? Is it no? And so what happens in that in-between space is confusion. You're actually trying to fuse together 2 different directions that don't go together. So you're confused, and you're wondering why you're so frustrated and why things aren't happening. And it's because you're not making a decision. And so, like I said, I explained this earlier. When you're fasting and you start removing certain things from your life, you're not only removing, but you're adding some things. So, like in this past 7 days for me, my imagination skyrockets. My sleep has been wonderful, right? Like it takes me a little while to get to sleep all the time because I generally stay up way too late. And so, like I've told you, I'll stay up till like 2 o'clock in the morning, right? 2:30 in the morning, doing stuff, writing stuff, creating things. So I've been now like being intentional about managing my energy levels and then realizing 9, 10 o'clock, shutting it down, getting in the bed, being rested. Then I wake up earlier on the flip side. So, and my rest has been so much better. I feel like now I'm not like out crushing it like I normally would, but my energy levels have been great, all things considered. Why? In part because I'm resting more. I've been having dreams. I was like, oh Lord, this is almost too much to be going to sleep at night and then dreaming. Right? Like, I'm like, okay, all right, now my dreams have been very vivid. I'm like, wow, this is incredible. And I'm gonna tell you, today I'm doing some consulting work with a company. And so part of the consulting, they wanted me to come in and experience their fitness program. So 7 days, I haven't been eating. This morning, 7:15 in the morning, I went to this gym and they wanted me to do a workout, and I went through their workout, having not eaten for 7 days. I told them, I was like, look, they're like, oh, we just want to see how you move and how you do things. I was like, all right, that's cool. I said, but I'm not coming in here to crush it. I'm like, let me just tell you. I was like, I'm going to be modest with the weights that I choose and the reps that I do. I'm not trying to pass out for this. I was like, that's not what's going to happen. So, but again, wisdom kicks in. How do you operate when you are removing some things? When you're in a transitional process, you start thinking differently because you're planning and strategizing for what it is that you desire to see, right? You're thinking differently. And so all my strategies, if I was just me doing me, like if I was in my regular zone, I would have been like, oh, I'm gonna throw on a lot of weight. I'm gonna be doing this, that, and the other. And I would have been trying to, really crush it. That's a different season, different time. It's okay to realize in this season, in this time, when you are removing some things from your life and you are re-strategizing, this isn't the time necessarily to try to be going all out. You might have to be in this process of making an adjustment to what it is that you're letting go of. Even if it's a relationship, even if it's people, you might be saying like, wow, I see that these relationships aren't best for me. You're going this place that's not best for me. It's not best for where I'm going. And then you start eliminating it. Listen, eliminating people from your life, eliminating relationships from your life, that still often has some feeling attached to it, right? Like that you could still feel that. So there can be an adjustment period. And then you say, all right, I'm not ready for the new relationship just yet. I'm going through the process of eliminating this. I went to the grocery store today because obviously I'm planning to break my fast tomorrow. And I started thinking about how I wanted to start eating tomorrow. I'm not looking at a whole lot of heavy food to just add that back to my system. No. Mm-mm. No, I'm not looking like I didn't go out and buy pizzas. No. I would have loved to buy pizza. But no, I didn't. I'm like, I'm a pizza guy. If there's anything, pizza is my thing. But I was like, no, that's not what I need. I'm going to introduce my body with some vegetables, some yogurt, some things that are going to be light on my stomach, right? I'm going to wake up. My digestive system has been asleep for a week. I haven't been stimulating it for a week. I'm not gonna irritate it. I need to ease myself into, even though I've been living for almost 45 years, I need to ease myself into waking up for the next level. Tomorrow, March 1st, starts the best month of the year. right? You all know what tomorrow is, March 1st. That's my birthday month. We're celebrating all year long. Side note, my birthday is March 15th. So March 1st means we build up to the 15th. From the 15th after, we go down. We got to wind down. That's why my birthday is strategically placed in the middle for the build up. And, you know, we take it on down. We got to land the plane. But we're going to celebrate all month long. So come up with things and please post them in the chat for things that we could do to celebrate all month long. Things that you would like, things that I could do. If you like giveaways, post all that kind of stuff. I'll be glad to see it and I would love to see what I can do. Anyway, that was just a side note, almost pre-birthday month, letting you know my birthday is coming. All right. So there you go. See, look, I celebrate all of July. My birthday is July 1. That's what I'm saying. Take the whole month. Let it be for you. That being said, transitioning, the transition season, as you move into the place of fulfillment, has stages of development. Don't expect it to happen all at once. Yes, everybody bake cupcakes. I like cupcakes. However, let me go back to this real quick. This is going to be a unique birthday month for me because I'm still not doing sweets. I still have things that I've eliminated because the 40 days of fulfillment and the 40 days for me of fasting and removing some things from my diet, it won't be over. So I've already identified that I'm going to have to do my sweets and my cake into April, which just extends my birthday, but I am going to have birthday cake and it is going to happen. And it might just have to, and it is going to be in April, but it's going to happen. So, you know, look, I like what that it says, celebrate all year long. Hey, how about that? Transition. The transition from one place to another is a process. People will talk about your process. They will tell you all kinds of things about your process. You know, like, oh, you shouldn't do that. That's not good for you. This, that, and the other. What I've come to realize is that people share from their experience. Okay. And let me just this sometimes we have to have grace with people to let them say what they need to say. Like let them say what they need to say. And realize it does not necessarily make it gospel in law because they said it. Okay. Like people, they'll freak out. You haven't eaten food in 7 days? No, but I drank water. And as you can see, I'm still here, right? Like still fully functioning, still feeding the horses, mucking stalls, doing everything that I need to do, still showing up, still talking. Do I look like I'm about to pass out to you? No, right? Somebody be like, 7 days, you shouldn't do it. Okay, fine. Do you know how many things that people do with food that they shouldn't do, but people do it anyway? So, hey, I don't argue with people. I let them have their moment, let them say what they need to say. Then I got to live my life. I'm like, I feel good about me. My body feels great. I am able to listen, pretty much anything that I want to do with my body, I can do. Like there is not an activity that I see that I think I can't do that. No, I think I can do anything that I really, if I put my mind to it, I think I can do that. So like let people have their moment. And here's what another thing. I'm like, look, if I don't want to trade places with you, I'm really taking your advice lightly. Like if you're not showing me something that is like super impressive, no. So like we got to understand that we don't have to be upset by it. You don't have to let it trouble you. Some people are not going to be on board with your transition. They're not going to be on board with what you are removing from your life. They're not going to be on board for the success that you're headed to. They're not going to be on board for that. Everybody does not want to see you succeed. Trust me. Some people would much rather you stay in a place of failure because it does not shine any light on them. Like, just understand that. Understand that everybody's not for you. And it's okay. Like, it is fully all right for you to say, I will hear you. Maybe I'll hear you out. Sometimes you don't even have to hear them out. Let them have their peace and you keep moving on your program. Why? Because first of all, they are not your maker. Second of all, they're probably not that invested in your life, right? Like a lot of people that talk, you can put the clock, a stopwatch on how long they are in your day, how long they are in your life. Like don't lose too much sleep over people that are just passing through. Like just keep on moving, right? And it's okay. Somebody's going to tell you, like, you're too old to go back to school. They're going to tell you, like, what do you know about, I'll just tell you things that people said to me. What do you know about horses? At one point, my answer was nothing. I know nothing really about horses. They have 4 legs, a tail, a mane. They run. They make noise. They poop. Beyond that, I really knew very little. Today, that conversation is a lot different. But guess what? Between today and the time that I knew nothing, there's almost 13 years of life that happened. It was a process. You keep going. If it means enough to you, you'll keep showing up for it. You'll keep learning. You will keep developing. And guess what? The person that was standing there at your beginning, they're not likely to be there at the end or at whatever stage of the journey. See, here's the thing. Your consistency is going to outlast their negativity. They're not actually built to stand there and criticize. They're not built for the long haul. Criticizers typically fall off after a while. You know why? Because being critical and just criticizing and being negative requires a lot of energy, and people cannot actually sustain it. Not for a long time. Right? If they just pop into your life every now and then, they can show up with it. But on a consistent long-term basis, all you have to do is start removing them from your life. And guess what? You won't even hear them. At your next level, you'll hear some more criticism. But for the most part, they're going to fade. So you get committed. You make your decision. Pay your price up front, knowing that the thing that you are moving towards, the thing that you are aspiring for, the thing that you see, the thing that you are paying the price for is going to show up. If you keep developing, if you keep growing, if you keep, building your network of people, if you keep educating yourself, if you keep implementing, then you are going to be moving closer to what you saw because you are doing the action to move you from where you are to what you see. Sometimes we just overcomplicate it. How come it hasn't happened? How come things aren't changing? Have you decided? Have you moved? Are you taking action, repeated action, day after day after day after day? Like, we got to think about this. This is why we said, okay, 40 days. What's going to happen in 40 days? What can you do in 40 days where you can repeat actions, where you can repeat activities, where you can say, I can be committed for 40 days to seeing this change and this outcome happen in my life. I can write a few sentences or a paragraph of my book every day for 40 days. And guess what? From day 1 to day 40, there's going to be more pages written than at day 1. Why? Because I committed to 1 paragraph a day. I'll write 1 poem a day. I'm going to clean out 1 portion of my house a day. I'm going to write 1 love note to my spouse a day. Look, the dripping, the slow drip still, it makes a difference. Think about how erosion happens over a long period of time where water is just rubbing against, a certain rock. It doesn't erode like overnight. No, it's over time. It's going to wear it down and things are getting carved out because there's a steady, consistent action. Consistency, right? Consistency. Will you be consistent for what it is that you want to see? That's the question. And only you know the answer, right? Will you continue to show up for what it is that you desire to have? Will you evaluate what you're doing, look at the results, analyze them, bring in other people, get sound counsel that can interject wisdom, right? Find people that know more about a particular topic. Find those people. Get into the space with them. Get around them. Learn from them. And then you say, "Oh, I just picked up something that I get to add this into my treasure chest of knowledge, and now I can pull this out. I can use this." And then see, that's how it works. But that only happens when you start taking action. You don't need more coaching if you haven't started. Right? Like, "Oh, I'm just waiting for someone to tell me what the next step is." Okay, the next step is the first step. Take the first step, make a commitment, say you're going to do it. Use whatever you have, because guarantee you this, you have something right now. You have enough right now in your possession to make your next decision. Right? You're like, "Oh, we really need marriage counseling." All right, fine. That's great. You need marriage counseling. But do you have enough right now to say, "Honey, I love you. Honey, I think we're worth working for"? Do you have that, right? Like, can you communicate that? Yeah, sure, you need counseling and you might get that tomorrow. But today, can't you just simply say to someone, "You know what? We're worth working for. I believe we are worth working for." How about that? Still make your appointment, still go get the counseling, but take what you have to take a step. Remember last week I was talking about how, like, when people are starting off on their wellness journey and they're wanting to lose weight, and it can be very overwhelming. Like, there's so many things to do, there's so many exercise. What should I do first? I'm like, lay out your clothes. Like, what? That's it? Yeah, lay out your clothes. Lay out your exercise clothes. Get your clothes together. Okay. What should I do on day 2? Repeat the process. Just lay out your clothes again. We only have to don't even worry about exercise, and just let's get into the habit of being disciplined with laying out your clothes. And then, hey, maybe day 7, then just start putting them on. Put them on for a little bit, walk around your house, get used to what it feels like to be getting ready for the next season. Then go outside, maybe take a little 1-2 minute, 5-minute walk. Come back in, take them off. Man, I did that thing. I've been so consistent. First, I was laying out my clothes. Then I went to the next level. Then I started putting my clothes on. Then I went to the next level. I started walking around my house. Then I went to the next level. I walked outside of my house for 5 minutes. Then I went to the next level. I got in my car. I walked for 5 minutes and then got in my car. And I drove to the gym. I pulled up to the parking lot. I looked at it, and then I left. There's nothing wrong with the buildup. Like, go in the parking lot, see who's going in, see what the kind of atmosphere it looks like. Maybe you start calling the gym, seeing what it's like. Hey, what are your busy times, whatever. Then after a while, you go in and you say, "Look, I have full intention on joining this gym, but right now, you're going to see me for the next 7 days. Just walk in. I just need to walk in. I need to just look around a little bit. This is a big deal for me. This is a part of my process. I know it might seem silly, but if you could just let me, do that, start getting used to being here, I'm building up my discipline for showing up for myself. I'm going to join. That's next week's action, though. That's not right now. Right now, I'm showing up. I need to start seeing the atmosphere. This is intimidating. I'm worried about other people's perceptions or whatever it might be, right? And you start building. And that way you say, what you start to see is that you're having victories along the way. Because now you are building up this place in your mind that says, I won last week. I won today with my effort. Because I said I was going to do something, I did it. I kept my word to myself. See, the one thing that you don't want to do, and this is very important, you do not want to become a liar to yourself. Here's why. Because once you become a liar to yourself, then yourself will not believe you. And that's a killer. Because you in your mind, you will have ideas and you will have dreams and you will have visions and aspirations. And when you start to have them, there's going to be an immediate doubt that sets in, because you're going to have this frame of reference that says, You know what? The last time you had a thought, you didn't do it. Every time you have a thought, you never do it. So this time, we're not getting excited because you're probably not going to do it again. Because all you do is lie to us. Yourself speaking to yourself. Like you lie to us all the time. There's no excitement, there's no energy. And it does, and see, here's what happens. You don't need, it doesn't matter who else knows. When you are lying to yourself, you know. You're in a relationship, I know somebody online right now watching this, or somebody watching on replay. You are in a relationship with someone that you do not need to be in a relationship with, and you are lying to yourself, keeping yourself there because you know that you don't need to be in a relationship with them. Like you trying to find ways to make it all right, to make it work, and you know that being with them is killing the best of you. You know it. Listen, I was a professional liar to myself, and I would say this: 2 words. I'm okay. Like, I'm okay. I'm okay. I was lying. I was lying like a rug. I was lying, right? Because I wasn't okay. In my mind, I knew I wasn't okay. I knew I was not good, right? And there came a moment when I decided that I'm going to tell the truth. And the truth sounded like this: the best of me is dying with you. Because that's what I knew was true. I knew in this relationship with this person, the best of me was dying. And I needed to let them know, I'm like, I can't do this anymore. The best of me is dying with you. This doesn't work. This soil and my seed, they don't go together. Like the both of us, we cannot be bringing out, if this is true for me, it's got to be true for you. It can't be like, it can't just be one-sided. Like for real, it's got to be affecting you too, because if the best of me is dying, then I clearly am not bringing out the best of you either. But I needed to say it. Okay. And so when we look at what's going on in our lives, the one thing you do not want to be is a liar to yourself. Truth resonates, has a higher vibration than a lie. Have you ever spoken truth and you felt it in your body, and it just like there was this like resonance? See, there's something about truth that it actually has a higher vibration because it is life-giving. Truth produces life, and life vibrates higher than death. And so you can look at all this up online and all that. But you just look at vibration. Like you hit a gong and there's a vibration. Our voices have a vibration. So all vibration is not like weird and spooky. It's just vibration, right? But truth has it resonates at a higher level than a lie does. And so that's why in part 2, you don't want to be lying to yourself, because lying to yourself is killing yourself. Because it has a low impact. It's dull. Lies are dull. They might seem exciting because you're getting something in the moment, but having to live a lie is dull. And so you begin looking at your life and you're like, okay, can I be connected? Can I be connected to the truth of my situation, the truth of my circumstance? And so, yes, like I decided that I was going to fast. Nobody made me do that. I could have went to the store and had hoagies and all that. Like I could have, but I would have lied to myself. And I would have had to deal with that with myself, knowing that I didn't do what I told myself I was going to do. And so I've come to the place in life, like when I tell myself I'm going to do something, or if I tell somebody else I'm about to do something, I'm like, you best believe I'm working on getting that done. Right? Like, so it might take longer than I thought. Oh, but it's in my mind. Because hey, that's a great, for me, And I'm just putting it out there for you. Maybe it doesn't work for you, but for me, I'm like, that works. I'm like, oh, I'm going to do this. Like, I'm going to run a half marathon. Okay, I run it. And here's why I keep going back to the reason why. The reason why is because when you accomplish what you say you're going to do, it gives you a frame of reference. It gives you a point in your life that you're saying, man, I have a bias towards what has just happened, a recency bias, right? So like, because this just happened, when I go and I look for a victory, I'm looking right here. I don't have to look way back into my life to see victories. Today is February 28th, Victory Day. Why? 7 days completed today. Tomorrow, there'll be another victory awaiting me tomorrow. I'm not going through life, and I encourage you to figure out ways that you can go through day by day and find victories. I was on a coaching call today. Someone was coaching me. That's a victory. Why? Because I'm humbling myself to have coaching from someone else. If I get on the call, if I'm making sales calls and talking to people, negotiating, boom, I hang up, victory. Tomorrow, I'm going to go out. I'm going to look at some property tomorrow, victory. Put it on the books. I'm winning every day. You can do the same thing. Don't think that you have to wait to get to the end in order to have your victory and celebration and shouting and party. No, that's too long. Don't wait to the end. Don't wait till you lose 100 pounds. What? You showed up today? Very good. Absolutely. High five yourself. Pat yourself on the back. Pat yourself on the butt. Keep on moving. You won the day. You won the moment. In baseball, when I was coaching younger athletes in baseball, you have a pitch and you have, strikes and you have outs and there are innings. And so what I did for them, I would break it down and I would say, win the play, win the inning, win the game. Win the pitch, win the play, win the inning, win the game. And I would just say it to them. Win the pitch. Okay? So the pitcher's pitching, strike, go, cool, we won the pitch. Win the pitch. Even if you have to throw a ball on purpose, cool, that works. You're winning the pitch. You're executing on the plan. Win the pitch, win the play. So the ball's been put in the play. There's action. Win the play. Do what you need to do. Execute. Get it done. Win the inning. If you're on defense, keep them from scoring. If you're on offense, score. Win the game. And so when you start having a process, win the pitch, win the play, win the inning, win the game, you start knowing, okay, here are the steps. And all of us, you can do the same thing for your life. You're like, oh, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to win the minute. This minute, right now, I'm going to win this minute. I'm going to win the hour. Okay? I'm going to win the day. Win the minute, win the hour, win the day. If you win enough minutes in your day, right? Like, let's just keep it real. 60 seconds in an hour. What does winning look like? Like, what does that look like, Brian? Like, okay, keep it real. Start off like this. 31 minutes. So 31 minutes puts you on the positive side of the hour. I won this hour, 31 to 29. I won. I'm talking trash. If I win, I don't care if I win by a half a point. I won 31-29. Yeah, I won. I won the game. I won the hour. So like when you start looking at it, you're like, okay, if I win that hour, then all right, how many hours in the day? 24. Okay, let me win 13. And so you start thinking about like, and again, this might not be your thing, but it works for me. And I'm just sharing what works for me because, hey, if you can implement it and you start having a mindset like, I can do this, then you see how you win. And like when I was in my training programs, I'll tell some people there are 7 days in a week. They're like, how many days should I start off when I'm training? How many days should I do? I'm like, at a minimum, do 4. Train 4 days a week. So at least put you on the positive side of the week. Even if you take 3 days off, give yourself 4. So you think, I won the week. 4 to 3, I won. Simple, right? It's simple enough. It puts you in a different mindset. It puts you in a winning mindset. And I know for some people, they're like, but I'm not competitive. I don't like to think about winning and losing. Okay, that's fine. I do. I like winning. I like competition. I like that. I enjoy it. It's fun. I grew up my whole entire life being an athlete, so I enjoy winning, not as much losing, but losing has benefits too. So I oftentimes think that way. And so if that is not what works for you, just take the concept and adjust it for what you like, right? Adjust it for what works in your world. But the bottom line is just be victorious, right? Just live in a place of fulfillment, live in a place where you are an overcomer, live in a place where you are dominating life and you don't feel like life is dominating you, live in a place where you don't feel like life is pressing you down and depressing you. That's the bottom line. Like, take all that you want. My hope for you and the reason that I share with you is to see you in a position where you are dominating life and life is not dominating you, that you are having rich and fulfilling relationships and rich and fulfilling health and rich and fulfilling finances and rich and fulfilling business endeavors, and whatever it is that you do, let it be rich and fulfilling, and you don't live this experience waiting for something good to happen. I just wish things would change, and I'm always just having life happen to me. No, time is too precious for you to have to live in a place of like this depressed, unfulfilled state, just waiting for your time and your breath to run out. Like, mm-mm, we don't want to live that way. None of us really want to live that way, like just waiting to die. No. So while you are breathing and alive, live. Live. And you don't have to live, you don't have to barely get by. No. Ask yourself, what is my next level? That's what these 40 days are about. Like removing some things from our lives that are keeping us from our next levels so that whatever is associated with our next level has room. Are you making space for your next level? Are you making space for growth? Again, I'm looking at the gardening, the gardening videos and watching and thinking about my garden and getting ready to get going. And I know that I have to clear some things out, got to remove some weeds and make space. And even when you're planting seeds and putting them in the soil, you don't just clump them all in there together and throw some dirt over them. No, there's a strategy to it. Make space. They need about X amount of inches in between so that the roots can grow. Side note, if you want a little extra bonus challenge in this 40 days of fulfillment, find something that you can plant and grow. Like just add that. Like I'm going to grow something. There are plenty of vegetables and crops that will actually grow in 30 days. That you can eat in 30 days. So there's a little something. You can grow it in a container, right? You don't need a whole garden. I mean, you can container gardening, is a thing. So you can put it in a garden. That's how I started. I started with like totes and bins and just, I was so excited to start. I was like, what do I have? That's a container. I was putting soil in it and planting seeds. And I was just like, what's going to grow? So that's just something a little extra. And I know somebody's like, well, I don't have a green thumb. Great. Develop one. To develop one. Find out if you perhaps could cultivate life. It's okay. So, tonight was just about encouraging you to take action, to recognize that you have this opportunity before you, and to realize that it's a process. And it's a wonderful process for you becoming everything that you desire to be, everything that you see, everything you're aspiring for. You can become that. Like don't let yourself or someone else talk you out of it. Like find that place in you that is resonating truth when you are seeing, like I know you think about it sometimes and you're like, I would really love to be an artist, but people tell me like an artist can't make money. It's not true. Like If side note, if you let someone talk you out of your thing because they tell you you can't make money, they're talking from their perspective. There was a time, real quick, there was a time that parents would tell their children, you need to stop playing those video games. It's not like you're going to make any money playing video games. In 2023, young people are making millions, not even just young people, older people too, are making millions of dollars because they can play video games. Young people that grew up playing video games are making buku bucks because their dexterity is so fine that they can sit in an operating room in Cleveland and do an operation in California because there's a robot and they can control it. And who would have thought that somebody that was really good at video games could become a doctor that can control devices because they've been good at it? Well, see, somebody doesn't understand your possibilities because it is not for them to see. That the greatness inside of you lives inside of you. It does not live inside of them. It's not living inside of their perspective. So don't let somebody talk you out of you because they don't see it. They're not supposed to see it. They'll see it when it's manifested. I'm like, there are places, museums all across the world with artwork in it from people that made good money, whose art sells for big bucks. People don't know how special you are. Like, there's no money in art. Man, please, I'm a genius in this. I'm brilliant in this. Or at the bottom line, I enjoy this. So don't even try to talk me out of it. Like, think about it. Professional athletes, they get paid big bucks to play a kid's game. Before you talk yourself out of doing your thing, being fulfilled in life, like, this is why we got to clear out the room for from people that are just talking and giving you just damaging advice. They're like, you don't need that. So I'm glad you and I were here today to have this conversation, because the best of you is waiting for you to show up and experience it. It's in you. So be happy about it. Go on the journey. We have 33 more days in this 40 days of fasting and fulfillment. We have 33 more days. Take these next 33 days and meaning not, cover, meaning conceal, the best of you. Start looking for the best of you. Discover you. You are worth finding. Lord, thank you for this day and your many blessings and this time and opportunity to be together with everyone that is here, those that are here live, those that are part of Team Replay. Thank you for these moments. I pray that someone's been encouraged. I pray that someone is looking at their life through a different lens, a different perspective, and that they are ultimately going to take action, that they would look and see that what they've been thinking, what they've been dreaming has all this potential that is waiting to be fulfilled. That it is not there just to be there, but it's there for them to see and to contemplate and then make a move on if that's what they so desire for their lives. I pray that someone would be able to understand that the negativity they've been facing is not negativity they need to simply be sitting there entertaining, that they can remove certain things from their life and make room for what is to come, what is available to them, that they can actually start moving towards that and have it in their life, not as a hope or a wish or a dream, but actually have it, something tangible in their life for them to experience. I pray that you would bless our minds, our hearts, our bodies, our relationships, our finances, our communities. Lord, I pray that where we show up to serve, it would make an impact on people's lives. And I pray that we would dominate life, that life would not dominate us, but that we would be in a position where we are taking charge and dominating life, operating with authority and power, and not just letting things happen and be by chance. I pray someone is encouraged and that you would encamp angels about us as we align with your will. I pray that you would prosper each and every one, prosper their finances, their homes, their relationships, their bodies, their minds, their education. Lord, just prosper them in ways that are even unusual to them. But I pray that it would show up and that you would get all the glory from it. We count these things as done and appreciate you and thank you in advance. In Jesus' name, amen. All right. Good night. Good night. Sleep tight. Take action. Believe that your next season is waiting for your next action. Get going. I appreciate you all. I'm B.A. Shepherd, 2 P's, A-R-D, reminding you to be a shepherd. The world has enough sheep. Love you much. See ya.